Hello, folks. Welcome to my channel. I'm Corey. I know that your snare probably sounds like crap. Mine did for a long time, too. I'm betting that the problem is actually the bottom head. This is probably what your snare sounds like. I'm going to flip this thing over. I've actually done this a lot of times with other drummers. It cracks me up because it's so simple. So this bottom head, I guarantee you, needs to come up a lot, actually. So if you push on it, it seems like this head's probably tight enough. That's what you would think. I really wish somebody would have showed me this a long time ago. So what we're going to do is we're going to do crisscross, right? 2 drum keys. Turn them at the same time. I'm going to go ahead and do a half turn all the way around, switching lugs. It's amazing how much of a difference this does, because this head needs to be on a lot tighter than you think, especially if you haven't tuned drums for very long. And there's actually a lot of really good drummers out there I've actually done this for, and it literally just takes a couple minutes. Just tuning this bottom head up will dramatically change the sound of this snare. Just to see where we're at, I probably did a half turn to a full turn on some of those lugs. It's a lot tighter, but I guarantee you that it's going to sound a lot better. Now, and the reason why I know that it's usually the bottom head is because you can put the top head wherever you want. And just as long as the bottom head is tight, then it'll work. Let's go ahead and tighten it up a little more. Now, I'm not even counting turns. I just know that you just kind of turn it to where it feels good. Nice and snug. Let's try that. Let's tune it up a little farther. I mean, it already sounds way better, but I know from experience that this needs to go even tighter. At this point, I'm just kind of going around and looking for loose lugs. Now, I have no idea where this started at. I actually just loosened them up randomly. That's sounding much better. So now what we're going to do, we're just going to totally start over. I'm going to loosen the top and the bottom head, and then go get your snare. We'll do this together. All right, so now I got all the heads loosened, completely dead. Let's start from the beginning. I got all these lugs on finger tight, and we do crisscross pattern. Do 1 full turn all the way around. As you tighten them, the other ones are going to loose, so go ahead and just tighten those back up, finger tight. Make sure you're turning these at the same time. So after we did 1 full turn, we're going to go ahead and repeat the process. Getting 2 full turns, 1 turn at a time each cycle, is a good point to start. Okay, so now we got 2 full turns. Still pretty low, so we're going to come back to it. But we're going to do the top head and do the exact same thing. I got all these lugs finger tight, completely dead. And the reason why you're going to use 2 drum keys is so that you can get this head on fairly even. You're not going to get it perfect. Do 1 full turn just to start out with. And when they get loose, just finger tighten them again. Let's see where we're at. So what I like to do is I like to put my finger right in the middle and give all the lugs a tap. There's no way it's going to be perfect the whole time. I basically do that to make sure that I didn't miss a lug, and they're in the ballpark. Let's see where we're at. So we're going to flip the head back over, and we're going to do, I say, maybe a quarter turn. Just kind of go around and get the same tightness, because that's kind of the name of the game too. You want the head on nice and even as possible, but if you got a loose lug, you're going to want to get that about the same tension as the others. Just kind of feel it out, and definitely tune with your ears. All right, let's flip it over, see where we're at. Now, we're going to go around and do the same thing again. We'll do another quarter turn, I guess. I mean, I'm not counting turns, but I don't want to over-tighten. But I guess if you over-tighten, you can always loosen it. But, ooh, that one's loose. And that's the problem with a lot of drummers. They just don't tighten the heads down enough. You really want to get this thing cranked down. See where we're at. That's sounding pretty good to me. I'm going to flip it over one more time. I might do another quarter turn. That's starting to feel about right. I'm betting my money on it that is going to be it. Now that bottom head is nice and tight. Now I can pretty much tighten this top head anywhere I want to, but I like a nice tight snare. Just see what happens if we tighten it up another quarter turn. And if one feels really tight, just skip it or don't turn it very much. But if you get a nice loose one, try to match the tension. Throw a little moon gel on there. If you don't like all that ring in there, I actually found that the ring is actually a good thing. But when I first started, I tried to get rid of all the ring. I just wanted the super crack and snare. Let's see what happens if we actually tune that bottom head a little tighter. Probably go another quarter turn. If it doesn't sound good, then we can tune it back. I'm just doing another quarter turn. Eighth of a turn, depending on how loose the other ones are. Just going off a feel at this point. Let's hear how this sounds. Just deaden it up just a little bit. I mean, you gotta mess around with it and see what works for you, the sound that you're looking for. A little more on there. Obviously, the farther you put the gel toward the middle, the more ring it's going to take care of. I like that. So, if you like my video, mess around with it, see what you can come up with. I'd like to see your comments. Anyway, like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Thank you.